Hello and welcome to this investigation about lines. First of all, just a quick reminder that when we discuss points, we'll be using the notation x1 and y1 to indicate a specific point, whereas the x and y variables represent the x and y axis specifically. All lines have two things in common. They have a slope, and they have many points which make up that line. Here you can see that we've labeled 2 points, x1, y1, and x2, y2. We've also labeled a couple of other pieces of this figure. Take a quick moment and investigate all of the pieces of this figure. We call the y2 minus y1 the change in y. This is the vertical change from one point to another point. We call x2 minus x1 the change in x. This is the horizontal change from one point to another point. We define the slope of a line as the ratio of the change in y over the change in x. Here is the slope formula. Let's look at an example where we find the slope between 2 points that make a line. First, we substitute into the slope formula. Notice that I've highlighted in red the 5 and the 2. That 5 and 2 are from the same point. Then we simplify our fraction and we get our final answer. In this case, the slope of the line between those 2 points is -5. How about another example, just to make sure that we really have this down? Here our points are -1, 5 and 5, 9. Note that I've once again highlighted 2 numbers in red. This 9 and 5 come from the exact same point, where the 5 is the x value and the 9 is the y value. Once again, we simplify the fraction and get our final answer. In this case, the slope is the fraction 2/3. Generally speaking, we prefer fractions to decimals. In that last example, we looked at the points 5, 9, and -1, 5. Here's a picture of the line which connects those 2 points, and also an indication of the calculations that we made. Notice we found the change in the y and the change in x, and that the slope was the ratio of these two. Given a line with a positive slope, we know that the picture will look like a line that rises from the left to the right. A negative slope will fall from the left to the right, a zero slope is a horizontal line, and a slope which is undefined is a vertical line. Using that information, we can look at a picture like this one and immediately know that this line has a positive slope, or that this line has a negative slope, or that this line has a zero slope, and finally, here we have an undefined slope because it's a vertical line. A vertical line has an undefined slope because no matter what you do, if you pick any 2 points on this line, you will end up dividing by 0. And we can't divide by 0, so the slope is undefined. Suppose we pick a specific point, x1, y1, and then pick any other points just completely arbitrarily on that line. If we did that, we'd have this equation for the slope of the line. By multiplying both sides of that equation by the denominator, x minus x1, we get the following equation. This equation is known as a point-slope form of a line. In our next video, we'll take a much closer look at everything that we can do with the point-slope form of a line.